There's sure a lot of dogs out this evening. Perhaps they can assist me in a song.
Okay, so a few more little tricks here. I'm back in Maya, or I'm still in Maya here, and I've exported it out as an OBJ. I'm going over to ZBrush now, and so here's the old model that I had before I started playing around with the edge loops and everything like that. Okay, cool. And I go and I import, and if I import in this head that I've made, bloop, there we go. There's the new one. Better topology, and it's still got the same shape. So there might be a few things on it I'm not crazy about. Let's just turn this off for a second, and let's just take a look at the difference in shapes from the original. So if I got solo on and I go up here to say this one, and I lost a bit of form here in doing this. Okay. What's this one looking like? And see, these two are really close in form, and I guess I've done a few things. So what I might want to do, let's see this one, just hold on a second, polyframe, what the hell was I doing here now? There's this one, they look the same, I cloned them. Oh, this is, I was doing the Boolean thing to get the eyes better. Okay, and so we got this, and then I want those eye sockets still, maybe. Actually, I'm going to show you a trick around that, so I'm just going to get rid of these things. I could, I think I got the UV up there. Okay, so I do have the original mesh there, too, if I need that for any reason. But I'm going to get rid of this one, just delete it. Okay. And I'll get rid of that second set of eyeballs, because I'll get confused. Somewhere down the line, I'm going to get confused. That's my good mesh. This one here is an old one I don't want anymore either. I'm going to delete it. And now what I'm going to do before I start making sure that these two are identical, okay, I'm going to be using a projection feature down in here. Before I do that, I'm just going to take this mesh and I'm going to go down into where the hell is it? The morph target. Now morph target is kind of like a blend shape, but not really. Okay, I'm going to store a morph target, and what it lets me do is I can do things to this mesh. So let's just grab, say, the move, and I'll just tap S and I'll do something obnoxious like this. Okay, and I can morph. I can go back to the original shape, so I don't lose that shape. Put it back to 0, or if I put it up to 1, I go back to the, or 100%, I go back to the original, and I hit delete morph target, and boom, I'm there. Store another one. Okay, you only get one morph target. This is old ZBrush, before they actually put in the layers menu. Okay, but it's still handy. Still handy, and in this case here, it's going to be handy. So I'm going to store that morph target. And let's close this down. And I'll, my voice is going. I'm going to go up here to this other head. Let's hit solo, turn that solo off so we got both heads. I'll keep the eyeballs hidden. And I've got some problems because I've got like eye sockets on this one that are, actually they're not existent. And same thing, I don't have a mouth socket, but I do want to have all these other shapes present. I could mask them out. I could go into some areas of this object and do some masking. And there's a mask trick. I just haven't looked at it for a long time. How do I mask inside of this? I could maybe go and put on the poly frame. What if I put on fill? Okay, so I could actually kind of maybe mask out some areas really quick. So hide these pieces. There's my mouse sock. Okay, boop, boop. Okay. And what do we got? Those lips. Damn it. And there's also something here under the nose. I guess it's just all the retopology I did has done this to me. What if... let's go down to the polygroups for a second. If I'm in polygroups and these are already grouped, so that's fine. That's inside of the eye. And then this piece is the trouble one. So what if I did something like, let's hide these pieces. Okay, so we can easily mask those. This one here, if I went into visibility, and because this is a sock back here, right? Like it stops back here. It's not open. If I did something like shrink, I could hide the lip action. Okay, and that almost worked. It seems like I don't have an even amount of polys on the top and the bottom, so I'm going to hide that. So those are all hidden, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit grow. And bring it back and see if I can get the inside of the mouth. And it looks like I got it. That's pretty much what I wanted right there. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and group visible. And if I take that piece here, I'm going to hold down Control and Shift, click on it, it hides that one, hide the eyes. And then if I hold down Control and Shift and I inverse that, so I've got just these, hold down Control and I mask those. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now, if I have any problems, I can get out of this problem that I have here. I've still got a morph target to get out of here, but now let's turn off solo, and I'll bring back those other pieces. So actually, bring back everything. Okay, cool. And if I go into the project section, I can hit project on the model. I'm just got to make sure I got the right one selected. I do. What's going on here? Okay, good. And if I hit project all, it's going to try to shrink wrap the two meshes together. Here, I'll put it on solo. Did anything just happen? So if I go backwards, yeah, the shape came back. Okay, and I'm going to go Control D and I'm going to smooth it. And when I smooth it, looks like I got some funkage here. It looks like it didn't quite work the way I wanted to. Project all. And you can see it missed some bits. So let's actually undo. So it looks like it didn't pick up some of these nose things. I changed some of the shape a little bit too much as I was modeling in Maya. If I go and I take the distance, it's saying at 0.02, I'm going to bring that up a little bit. Not too much. Now I'm going to hit project all again. There, it's got them. Okay, and it's leaving the inside of the eyes and the mouth alone. Now I can go ahead and hit Control D, smooth it, and I'll hit project. Control D, hit project. And let's just put it, yeah, there's going to be some issues around the lips that I'm going to have to fix. But that's going to be okay. Okay? Not like if you're trying to do this after you've finished making your model and you got to do all this work. Actually, I just realized something. Damn it all to hell. With the mask on, when I go and I subdivide, it's not working on the inside of the eyes. Okay, and this is why I set up the morph target. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to go back into my geometry here. And I've got this higher resolution. We don't want that. Got no resolution. So my project is working. Okay. And I'm going to have to take the mask off. And when I go in and I hit divide, and I'll hit project, and where the hell am I up here? Okay. Actually, it looks like I'm getting some trouble on the inside of the eyes. Not too bad, though. Control D, project. Okay. And I think this is probably about as... Well, I could go a bit further, maybe. Control D and hit project. I might start noticing some of the facets from the other model starting to show up on here, so that's not that great. But it did shrink wrap to the form. If we take a look, if I go back up here and I switch between the two objects in solo mode, you'll see they're pretty much exact. We just got a few eye and lip problems, and that's not much to fix. Okay, so I'm just going to take this one, turn off the other head, put it on solo, and now what I can do to fix this is we still have our poly groups, so we can take advantage of those. Or I can just go ahead and try to figure out some of these here. So I'll just go in and hit S. And we have that morph, right? The morph target is stored down here. Where are we? Morph target. And so it's stored. You can't actually access the morph target unless you're on the right subdivision level that it started, that you created it on. Okay, and it goes back. But the wonderful thing is this does it to the whole object. But if I look for the morph brush, with the morph brush, you can come in and you can paint selected areas so they go back to the original shape of the morph target. Okay, get some of this lip action back, and around the inside of the eyes is not looking good. Some of these areas around the inside of the eyes, this might be a good excuse to go in and just look at this, just the polygroup. And I'm just going to make this bigger, and I'll just kind of paint some of these. So you can go in here and get these back to the way they were. Back to the way they were, making my mesh great again. Okay, it looks like I got everything. Let's just bring back this stuff and Control-Shift, boop, there. Should just realize something. When I did the mouth, I didn't actually make it into a separate polygon. Oh, I did. Actually, what if I did something like Control-Shift, bring everything back, hide that. Awesome. And hide that. Boop. Good. And then I can just go in here and start to paint some of these so they go back to how I created them. And I probably, you know, there's part of me that also says I should be smoothing this whole thing out. Oh, I got the smooth groups brush. By the way, when you're doing groups, if you looked at the last video, someone pointed out to me, former student Derek, he pointed out that there's actually a smooth groups brush that's hidden in Lightbox brush smooth groups, and this thing's the freaking bomb. That was very handy, very, very handy. But after you get that, after you've used it, you'll realize that when you're holding down Shift, it's going to keep smoothing your groups, and that's not what you want. You want just a normal smooth. So when you go back here, you got to hold down Shift and find the smooth brush. Now the smooth brush is activated again, so when I hold down Shift, it goes back to a normal smooth. What the hell is that? Okay, that's fine. Oh, my mouse sock is shrinking quite a bit. And that's because this intensity is high. Okay, a bit of morph brush action, then I'll stop there. And so we got that. That's all fine and dandy. And let's just bring everything back and look at it. So those are the tricks to get my shape back after I've retopologized it, doing a little bit of fixing here and there. Still got a few things around the eyes to kind of paint back and stuff like that, and sculpt. Control D. Go up. And I got the morph brush on, and now I can't morph out of this one. So I have to probably do some smoothing and things like that to get everything back to normal. Okay, so I'll come in here and start to go in and do some modeling and some projecting. And I think also my distance is probably still set up high, isn't it? When I did the project, I look up here, yeah, it should be down to around 0.02 and everything will be a little bit better. I'm just going to take this and go up a subdivision level, smooth it back. But sometimes the morph targets come in really, really handy. And here it came in pretty handy, but still not 100%, but still pretty good. And I think I'm going to say, actually I've got to get in here and get this one. Right now I'm doing the mouse and not the pen. And I hit the wrong hotkeys. There. Shift. And I don't know how much more of this video is going to be exciting at this point. I might have to go down some subdivision levels and get the inside of this out a bit. Okay, but Shift D, go down a level, smooth it down a bit more, and I guess I have this intensity down pretty low. Fix my lip corners and everything, and yeah. The other thing I could do potentially is fix as I go and make a morph target every level that I'm on, as I'm slowly fixing everything. This could take a little while, but anyway, you can come up with ways to trick it. When you think about it, it's all just a puzzle. Okay, and I'm gonna stop the video here.